Welcome to the Day Clean Devotion Queen podcast. Each week, our podcast episodes breathe life into selected themes from the DDQ Meditation Journal. Hosted by our founder, Najma Thomas, we engage in heartfelt discussions with a diverse roster of inspirational Queen sisters. We explore their unique perspectives, uncover the wisdoms shaped by their journeys, and celebrate the trials and victories along the way. Together, we are creating a womanifestation space where conversation meets examination and sparks transformation. Welcome, Queen Sis. I'm a little overwhelmed. I'm a little overwhelmed this afternoon because I am in this space that has been curated by this wonderful woman, this Queen sister, who is our featured guest for today's Day Clean Devotion Queen podcast. Queen Sis Hermina Glass-Hill. Thank you for welcoming me to this amazing space that you've created in honor of our beloved Susie King Taylor. And welcome to the Day Clean Devotion Queen podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm deeply honored. I really am.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. So y'all out there in podcast land, and for those of you who are watching on Spotify, hey y'all, hey. I know you see this wonderful background here. That's right. And I've included a couple of clips and some wonderful, what do they call it? The professionals call it B-roll. They call it B-roll. Got a little bit of B-roll for y'all, so you'll see that in a bit. And look, lean in. That's right. This is Susie King Taylor week. This goddess, this queen sis gifted this to me when she came to visit St. Helena.
Yes.
It is a treasured area now. And you can get yours when you come on down here to Hinesville to the Susie King Taylor.
You wear it so well. It
Thank
looks so
you.
beautiful on you.
Yeah, I treasure it. Thank you.
Yes.
So who are we talking with today? Y'all, I want to just take a moment to introduce our incredible featured guest. Like I said, Hermina Glass-Hill, a writer, a historian, a preservationist, and sustainability advocate. She's worked for more than 2 decades on environmental justice and human rights. She is the founder and director of the Susie King Taylor Women's Institute and Ecological Center right here in beautiful, and I dare say this is my first time in Hinesville, Midway, Georgia. Yes. And she moved here in 2018 from Atlanta to anchor her work in Susie King Taylor's birthplace. We are in the birthplace of a giant in our nation's history. Now, this giant in our nation's history as well, Hermina Glass-Hill earned a Bachelor of Arts in History with a minor in African American Studies from the Spelman College and a Master of Arts in Heritage Conservation and Heritage Preservation from Georgia State University. Y'all know we only bring the heavyweights to the building for the DDQ podcast. Queen Sis Hermina is widely recognized as the foremost and preeminent scholar in the United States on Susie King Taylor, the Civil War nurse and memoirist. She began her research into Taylor's life in 2009 while working as associate director at Kennesaw State University, the Center for the Study on the Civil War Era. And in 2019, Sister Hermina said, wait a minute, I need to be recognized. Well, somebody said, wait a minute, the work of this Queen Sis needs to be recognized, right? And they did. The Governor's Award, Georgia's Governor Award for Arts and Humanities for her work in preserving African American and Gullah Geechee history and culture. And now this is my piece. I added this to the bio, y'all. I'm ad-libbing here, but I mean it. Her forthcoming epic on Susie King Taylor is highly anticipated in academic and public history circles alike. I'm gonna get the first copy.
Yeah.
And she is going to sign it. I'm going to walk the red carpet when the feature length film is premiered.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. We're
So-
claiming that.
We're claiming it, we're counting it done. So it is really just like I said, my distinct pleasure to be here with you at the Susie King Taylor Museum and to share in this special session of the DDQ podcast. So we're in season 4 of our podcast.
Wow.
It's almost my favorite time of the year. And our theme is celebrations. That's our theme. We're celebrating. So first of all, I'm celebrating because I'm here with you in this wonderful space.
Me too.
Okay. And the theme is all about celebrating individual and collective milestones,
Yes.
amplifying Black joy as resistance, and leading all the way in to our ancestral and traditional holiday rituals in this season. This is it,
Yes.
y'all. We kicking back.
Yes.
So I ask all of the featured guests same question, sis. Me and I'm going to ask you the same thing. We'll open our conversation with what is your day clean ritual? How do you get your morning started each day?
My day clean ritual is I wake up in the morning and the first thing that I do is pray and meditate. I don't rush out of bed. I don't jump out of bed. I really lean into communing with God. Sometimes I listen to see if there's an immediate answer. And then I meditate upon maybe a thought, sometimes a scripture, sometimes an African proverb, to get my day started, to be intentional about my day. And for the most part, it is a beautiful awakening every morning. To know that I am connected to the Creator, connected to my family, and connected to my ancestors in this deep way. When I wake up every day, because it's very important that I, if no one else, know who I am. And that is the genesis of my ritual, my morning ritual. Supposed to do those things.
I love for you and so many of the guests we've had on the podcast so far who share with us that they don't jump right out of bed in the morning. That they have found a way to carve out, even if it's just 15 or 20 minutes, but time to center themselves and commune and connect.
Yes.
For so long, I didn't do that. I hit the ground running, so whoop, alarm, jump out of bed. It's time to go.
Right.
And I feel like there is this dialing back. And sisters are saying, wait a minute. Before my feet hit the floor, let me see what's going on with me. Let me check in.
Yes, yes. And it is an extension for me. It is an extension of rest being resistant. I'm not on the time clock of this world and what it demands for me. I come from a really big city, and I was always chasing time. But when I came home to myself, which is coming home to the richness of earth and Mother Earth and Mommy Water, coming real, I mean, it just felt like I was in the most righteous place on earth when I moved 2 years ago. And I always felt that way even when I went to Port Royal. I told you my previous life, that was a part of my annual retreat for my husband and my children.
Y'all heard that
just
right.
when-
An annual retreat from husband and children, because don't we deserve
Yes,
that
yes,
space and time?
yes.
Go ahead,
The
continue.
moment I would enter into Beaufort County Old Sheldon Church, I knew I was coming home. A spiritual home. And I think I'm about to get emotional about it because I know it was one of the first places that our ancestors entered. And so from the witness trees to the Spanish moss, to the soil, the sandy soil, the shells, the smell.
Mhm.
It was otherworldly. And it taught me how to be grounded in myself, my people, our shared and collective histories, and the environment. That's what going to Beaufort was for me
Yeah.
for 13 years.
The way you describe it, and I've had the pleasure of listening to the preeminent scholar on Susie King Taylor. It's a sensory experience to listen to you describe almost anything. It's a sensory experience. You're such a storyteller. You paint the details and the smell, and as you're describing, I'm pulling up through Old Sheldon, and I remember all of that sensory experience, the salt water's coming in, and something is lifting off your shoulders from Central Virginia. I'm like,
Yes.
oh, okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Right.
Getting chilly bumps, all right.
Right.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you for sharing that with us. So I wanna ask you a couple of questions about celebration practice.
Yes.
Celebration and practice. When you think about celebration, what comes to mind for you?
Oh, what comes to mind for me is just joy and laughter. Joy, laughter, and connection. Connection to everything that's around me, people, family, ancestors. Celebration is about expressing that joy. And I didn't always feel this way. I did not always feel this way.
Oh, I find that hard to believe
I-
because you are
really?
such a joyful person. When I got out of the car, every time you greet me, it's like with a container of authentic joy.
Yeah.
It is hard to believe you were always that way.
Yeah, as I said, being a wife and a mother at a very young age, those responsibilities, not really knowing who I was and what my purpose in life was until later in life. I had a child very early, and I was not married. I was attending Spelman College, first in my family to attend college, and that was a weight. Going to college because everybody's looking at you like, what is she gonna do? Is she gonna make it? Is she not gonna make it? And I began to fulfill this self-defeating story that I was telling myself. And then when I got pregnant in college and, a historically Black college, the college for women, Black women.
Oh my God,
Yes.
the stigma.
Yeah, and I didn't know who I was. I was 20 years old. I didn't know. The stigma and the stereotypes and fighting those things, and then having to raise this beautiful kid who's calling on me to nurse her and to take care of her and to mother her and to protect her and all of those things at the same time where I'm learning who I am and not completely knowing who I am at the time. My mother was there, but my partner was not there. And so with my partner not being there, it was an unfulfilled part of me. And so for years, decades even.
Yeah.
It took a long time for me to say, okay, you are the captain of this ship, that you need to take hold of the reins, and your steps are ordered by the Lord. They're already ordered. You just got to take the first step. And I did. And from that moment forward, I remember telling myself that I got to speak the language of joy and the language of love, because language has the power to transform your physical body and your reality.
Yes, it does.
So the words I began to use, and to myself and to my family, to my children, it transformed my life.
I bet.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be the title of this podcast episode, Speak the Language of Joy, because that's a gem. That I'm taking that from me.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, indeed.
And I appreciate you so much for sharing that, because I would imagine, just like as I'm hearing this, that's my story, a part of it. 19, that's when I had my son at 19. And where's the time for joy?
Right.
That is the time you're supposed to be
Yes.
footloose and fancy free.
Yes.
But if you're this little person,
Yes.
all the time you're wondering, and again, no partner here, it's just work, parent, God, thank God for Aunt Dot,
Yes.
but I see me in the story
Yes.
that you described, and hearing that and knowing that makes me understand so much more why there's so much fullness and authenticity in the joy that you have, because it's almost like, oh, this is, I was supposed to have this.
Right.
I'm gonna go ahead on and make sure I claim this going forward and double up
That's right.
for what I had.
Absolutely. But all the times that I did not recognize it, and some of it was self-prescribed, a lot of it was. And when I realized that the joy of the Lord is my strength, that there was something to the joy of the Lord.
Give me that.
Yes, give me some of that. Give me love. Give me all the fruits of the Spirit. Give me all that comes with that. And it became a part of me.
Yeah. Oh, that's transformative.
Yeah, it became a part of me.
That's transformative.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. That's good stuff. Let me ask you about rituals and holidays and ancestors, because you embody sort of the bringing in of the ancestors. This is one thing to preserve a historical record, okay, and to present it and to retell it. Our good sis, Susie King Taylor. So I want to, are there particular holidays or rituals or ancestral practices that you cherish most in this season or any other? Tell me about those.
Holidays are extremely important to me because it's a gathering of the family, and it's the telling of the stories. And it began when I was a child. Just sitting at the feet of my mother and her 11 sisters and brothers. 11 sisters and brothers. Sharing stories about the good old days, sharing stories that were passed down to them. And I don't know if you heard me tell the patrons that visited before that it was those telling of stories that were anchored and rooted and grounded in me that I could never get away from. I heard a story and it registered, and I was like, that's who I am. I come from her. I come from her, and this would be every Thanksgiving and every Christmas. I would learn those stories about my maternal grandmother, whom I never met before, and her parents and her parents' parents. And then that's when, this thing that history is a thing, and it's a thing that is so much a part of me. And it's based and rooted in family connection and, and the ritual is around food.
Oh, gosh, yes.
It is around food.
Oh, goodness, yes.
It is around Black food,
Oh,
Black
gosh.
foodways.
Yes.
And there cannot be a celebration without the ritual of breaking bread and cooking and learning the recipes and folks sharing those recipes and learning what went into them. And it wasn't just ingredients. It wasn't just ingredients. It was love and it was culture, it was song, it was stories that went into it. And those things, I don't celebrate a holiday without remembering those for me. And especially the family members who have gone on, who were just the bedrock of any story that I could tell. I don't even do them any justice. But those are the rituals for me, is remembering and celebrating those holidays with family and friends.
Yeah.
Because that's the collective story. Those
It
are the
is,
collective
isn't it?
stories. And so it's not just my story,
Mm.
but it's the stories of folks that look like me and the survival stories and the resilient stories. And I just love the survival of Black folks. I just love the stories of I don't know who sang this song of how we got over. I love them. I love the songs. And so that is a big part of who I am and what went into this space. It started with my memories of family.
And I think it's so clear when I was talking to you earlier about how you can feel the energy
Yes.
that you have sort of translated into the telling of the story. It goes beyond, just like you were describing in the ingredients in a recipe. It's not just the flour or the oil. It's the energy of the love and the memories. I think that is a tangible ingredient that's mixed into. That's why, unless you were sitting at the feet of grandma when you learned the recipe, it's so difficult to replicate it. I mean, like, I have the recipe right in front of me. I did a pinch of this and a pinch of that.
Right.
It's energy.
It is.
And you think it's around those holiday gatherings.
Yeah.
And what is a holiday gathering without food somewhere where I'm not gonna be?
Yes,
That's what that is. I'm not coming.
Right.
I'm sorry. How do you think we need to, or do you think we need to, as a people collectively, reclaim or reimagine our holidays so they more affirm our culture and joy and resilience for the future? I've been hearing, especially with family reunions or the big holiday gatherings, sometimes we're getting away from that. What do you think? Do you think we need to do some reclamation?
Oh, we definitely need to reclaim what family means for Black folks. And it's all shapes and forms. It is during those family gatherings and connections that we learned who we are. We learned God of our weary years, God of our silent tears. It's where we learned true to our God and true to our native land. And that's how we get to know who we are. And that's for any species on the planet. For any species on the planet, you have close proximity to your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, to learn what is culture, language, instinct, intuition, all of those things. And that's so that we can survive.
Right,
That's
so
that
we can survive and get to thriving.
Absolutely, and get to that level of, I got the survival part. That's a part of me. That's foundational. That is foundational to who I am.
It's in the marrow.
Absolutely, in that bone marrow, because the life is in the blood. That's where it begins. But the gatherings, are distracted by a lot of things. But when it comes down to it, what are those things that are most important for survival and thriving and joy and transmitting this to the next generation? How do we get it to the next generation? A lot of our young people are challenged by not knowing who they are. But boy, I tell you, when you know who you are unstoppable.
Undeniable
Yes.
and unstoppable.
Yes.
No matter, come what may. Come what
Yes.
may.
I mean, there's a surety, a confidence that you can navigate this world when you know who you are. When you know who you are.
That's just true.
Yeah.
That's just true.
And I think that we're sort of kind of getting to that, especially now that Juneteenth is a national holiday. We were doing it before. We were doing it before any other person even said it. We were already doing it.
We didn't need a designation.
Exactly.
That was not a requirement. But thanks for the amplification, right?
Exactly.
Right?
But now that it's this catchphrase, people are beginning to say, hey, what is it about? You know, even our young people, because Juneteenth is just a beautiful portmanteau of these clashing of words. That just the sound of it, the ring of it. Juneteenth, come on, not Juneteenth, Juneteenth, you know Juneteenth, yeah. And it's just a beautiful word. It's a beautiful word. It is a beautiful word.
It's our word.
It is our word. It is our
It's
word.
the way in which we put our words together. It's reflecting that way. That's how we
talk about Gullah Geechee culture. It is one of the most beautiful words in our language.
Talk about speaking joy. Talk about speaking the language of joy. That's what that is.
And I think that people are tapping into what that joy was about historically and in these contemporary times about what that really means in a society like today. What does Juneteenth mean? For families gathering and learning about that. The stories that are coming out, the historical stories about, red beans and rice and red cake and red drinks and all of the stories that are coming in about that. It's about really self-discoveries about who we are as a people, as individuals. And sometimes it's like it crosses genetic barriers and you're like, so I learned how to sew because mama knew how to sew. So I learned how to make the best cornbread because grandma knew how to cook.
It's a beautiful revelation.
It's generations and it's just in you. So
much more of that for the next generation, please.
Yes.
And thank you.
Yes.
Let me ask you about gifts, abundance, and gratitude. You have so much of all of those things on display here and on display whenever I encounter you. Like literally and figuratively speaking, I encounter you and there are gifts spilling out from you. So what's one of the most meaningful gifts you've ever given or received?
One of the most wonderful gifts that I've ever received. It's not even tangible. It's not tangible. It was the wisdom of my 88-year-old. And even though she's passed on, she's still so with me. Every story she ever told me was a gift, a nugget of wisdom. And they are the core of my being, every nugget of wisdom that she ever gave me. I think that she gave me the gift of knowing that there is a creator. She was a strong Christian, a strong believer She even taught me something that I thought was antithetical to my own belief systems, that my great grandparents were root workers. And I was just
Come on,
shocked
bring in the meshing up now, bring it
growing
in.
up in the Christian faith, the denomination.
Root working, oh my Lord.
When she told me a story of someone putting roots on somebody, and I was like, what are you talking about? Like, we dare not talk about root workers. And she said, it works if you work it.
Oh, another
She
gem, it works if you work
She
it,
said, they
princess.
work if you work it, and they work if you believe it. And that gave power to this dual system
Yes.
of beliefs. Not saying one was wrong or bad. One relied on nature, intuition, and spirituality, and one relied on the written word.
And
that was supposed to come from God, and all things work together for good. So those were gems, the gift of story and wisdom from her. She was the eldest of 12 children, and she never had any kids of her own. But she had a lot of kids.
Yes.
There's a scripture that said, more are the children of the barrens than the children of the married wives, because the barrens, they have all the love, all the care, all the resources to help the married wives take care for their children. And she was that gift for me.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. From one doting niece to another.
Yeah.
Folks who know me well know that October is coming up and it is Dorothy Thomas Thweet month.
Yes.
I overstand.
Yes.
The love.
Oh yes.
Auntie's gift, the special aunt's gift.
Yeah. And there's something to be said about aunts.
Isn't there though?
There is something
that special
there is
relationship and the importance they play in our families and communities.
Oh yes.
It's something about an aunt and an auntie. Sometimes they have more influence and more importance
they do
than mom can.
They do.
Especially given the weight that's often on mom's shoulders, and in our communities, the lack of resources. Auntie is a cornerstone.
Aunties are a cornerstone.
It's a cornerstone.
Yes.
Okay, so all right, so you speak in the language of joy. You understand the importance of gifts, tangible and intangible. So for our listeners who want to be more intentional about celebrating loved ones, what advice would you offer in this season?
Intentional about celebrating loved ones.
Yeah. What can they do to amplify that? It's not necessarily monetary based or the theme.
Yeah. As an oral and public historian, I would like to recommend that people look at their family tree and look at their nearest aunts and uncles, grandmothers, cousins, the elders in the family, and partner with one of them. Because therein lies more wisdom, more stories that you can collect for your own internal archives, but for the archives of your family.
The family archives.
Yes, the family archives, and our family archives are mostly oral. And it is high time and high tide that we begin to collect these stories for our own safekeeping, our own safety, our own grounding, our own sense of being able to not only survive, but as you said, thrive in this world, because that's the basis, that basis of knowledge. When they pass away, it's gone. And so celebrating with an elder, selecting a person to connect with in a deeper way, is a bond, is building and developing a bond that we will find the I would say the mysteries of life can be answered when we are beholding an elder who has a story that they have harbored and kept safe for a long time,
Yeah.
and they've never been asked. So what's your take on great grandma and why she married so and so and so?
Dish.
And you know, so how did we come to live here? And that's adding to that, you know, self-discovery and self-confidence and knowledge that keeps us grounded, helps us to be grounded. And that would be my recommendation to families, because the basis of what I do is collect stories and stories from artifacts and people.
Yeah.
And it's such a treasure. And with recording devices as you
you
have
can.
here, which I just absolutely love that you do this. It's such a gem for our families, our collective families, individuals. Because I've heard through the stories that I've learned, heard through your podcast, gems of information and womanisms and just wonderful gifts that have been shared through the podcast. But it's important, and it's important that we tell these stories.
Come on now, with controlling our narrative, with our story.
Right,
Story is what?
That's
Yes,
right,
story.
that's right. And so, right, it's our story.
Yeah.
And nobody can tell it the way we tell it. And I think that the reason why I go deep in telling Susie's story is because of my own stories, the stories that are generational and deep, and then that are um, not just generational, but also based in archaeology and memory. You know, from the artifacts to, you know, a watch that someone might have on, or, you know, earrings that someone may have made or belong to someone else, that these are artifacts. Artifacts tell stories.
They carry a story.
They do. And so how this place got to be was just based on the foundation of it is story. Yeah. And then the things that previous generations left behind. And the more we tell that story or those stories, the more people I believe gravitate to it.
Yes.
And you have folks like Miss Clara, who's been promising me a pot for 4 years. And she brings a pot.
And she brought the pot.
And she brings a pot on the day that you're here, and I've been dying to have you come. And then she comes on a day.
Stars align.
Really, she comes on a day where there are guests from Germany and
Yes.
other places, and
incredible.
And the pot is beautiful.
And it completes your table.
Yes.
Your table is complete.
Yes. And so I cannot wait to call her and record her pot story. It's her grandmother's pot. It's her grandmother's cornbread dish.
And then that pot is tough.
And so it's how it's called the begets. How, you know, storytelling begets other stories, and they beget other stories, and they awaken something in the human brain, and it just brings us alive, and they connect us all. Yeah. And so that's how this place, you know, really came to be, in honoring my grandparents and my great grandparents and those that I didn't know on my mother's side, as well as my father's side, whom I don't know a lot about, but I know stories of them. Yeah. And I do have a sixth sense, and my mother used to say, and here it's antithetical to Christianity that I was raised in. My mother would say, Nina, you have a sixth sense. And I would be like, Mama, that is not from the Bible. And she would be like, you do. I mean, you would have visions as a child. And I was born with these holes in the top of my ears, these oracles, what people would say, you know, you have an acclamation to the spirit world. And so it is from those kinds of stories to wives' tales to accepting that there is something spiritual and otherworldly
Absolutely.
about it. And just
Multiple planes.
absolutely, and just embracing that those are possibilities even in my world that I live in. And so yeah.
That's a beautiful recommendation for not just a gift to give someone, because I can just imagine you selecting an elder and saying, your gift, the gift I want to give you this season
Yes.
is to listen, to partner with you and document your story. But that's a gift to yourself. And then it's a
Yeah.
gift to the next.
Oh, yeah.
So it's the gift that keeps on
It
giving,
keeps on
y'all.
giving,
Like to use a tired, trite,
Yes,
cliche
it does.
phrase, but that is
Yeah.
truly, well, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful recommendation. I'm taking that one for me.
Yeah.
I'm taking all the stuff from me, but guess what? It's enough for y'all too. We're gonna wrap up here. This has just been such an amazing, gratifying conversation with you. But let's look ahead. Looking ahead, if you could offer our listeners just one celebration practice, one joy practice to carry into this season, what would it be?
To carry into this season of family and connecting and joy and happiness is to embrace rest.
Oh,
It's
gosh.
so underrated.
Oh, say it for the
It's so
for the people in the
underrated.
Nezazine area. And for me, and
Rest is so underrated because we live in this society where you gotta hustle, you gotta keep going, you gotta keep doing, but rest is restorative. It's how you restore your spirit, mind, and body so that you can be of use to yourself, your family, your community. It's underrated. People are, oh, let's go. Find some time to rest. And in the beginning, it's going to be really difficult because your body has been conditioned to go.
Yes.
To go. And so here at the Susie King Taylor Gullah Geechee Museum, typically what we do is when we have guests, and I'm so sorry to do it today, is we offer a cup of sassafras tea.
Ooh.
To just sit and sip tea. Susie,
That was
talked
her
about
training.
that was
That was her and her grandma's
sassafras
tea. Yeah.
We just sit and sip tea. You can talk or you can not talk.
Yeah.
Well,
I had a period of rest when I came in. I did. I was like, downloaded calmly and like embraced what I was seeing. And for the first time in a long time, took my time in a museum because I wasn't with a class of students.
Good.
I wasn't with anybody. I was lecturing. I wasn't proctoring. I wasn't doing any of those things. I was just enjoying the time.
Good.
It was a very peaceful and wonderful. So but I will be getting my sassafras tea.
Awesome. I love that.
Such a beautiful recommendation to go into the season with.
Enjoy a glass of a cup of tea and rest with it.
And rest your nerves, Queen Sis. Rest your nerves.
Yes, get you some mullein tea and some sassafras tea
and some Life Everlasting.
Life Everlasting.
Mix that all up.
Yes. And I got watermelon tea.
Oh.
And so just embrace those few seconds before you get back out into this world that's a cogwheel.
Oh my gosh.
And
trying to grind us out.
Yes.
We won't let it.
Right. But rest is a gift, a restorative gift. And I would encourage, especially women.
Yes.
Please find 5 minutes to just rest. Sometimes I used to do it in my car. When I got home from work, I would sit in my car and I'd turn on Marvin Gaye and Aretha Franklin and I'd listen to everything that I know I ain't gonna be listening to
in the house
because I ain't gonna have time, no time to be doing none of that.
Right.
And I got butts to wipe and dishes and cooking and washing and cleaning. Exactly. So I would sit in my car and I would relish in Sweet Honey in the Rock. And I would just sit there for about 5 or 10 minutes. And it's all I needed just to get on in there and do what a mama has to do.
Come on.
You
Come
know.
on.
So, and I even do it here. My office, I work from home and I work for myself as a consultant. And so, sometimes I come here.
Yeah.
This is a very small place
And
and
very
quiet
peaceful.
and peaceful.
And inspirational.
Oh, good,
Come on,
good.
yes,
Yeah.
memoirist. Y'all gotta
Yes.
come out here. And speaking of which, as we close this remarkable conversation with a preeminent scholar of Susie King Taylor.
Oh, you're too nice.
That's
Hannah.
right. Come on. Tell the good people where they can connect with you, where they can find out more about your work, how they can support this exquisite museum. Give them the details.
So you can visit SusieKingTaylorInstitute.org, or you can just get on the internet and type in her name, and all sorts of videos will come up. And we look forward to connecting with you in any kind of way. You can email me, you can text me, my number's on the website as well. And that's how you can connect with us.
And I'm gonna drop the details in the episode notes, so you can just scroll right on down and you'll see the links to all of the good stuff. And you know how I close out every session. If you enjoyed this podcast, if something touched your heart, and I know it did, Queen Sis, share. Sharing is caring. Don't keep all this good stuff to yourself.
Yes.
And thank you again, Queen Sis, for just blessing us with the invite and sharing all these wonderful gems and sharing your joy with us. Language of joy was heard loud and clear here today. And until we get back together the next time, DDQ podcast audience, thank you so much for tuning in again. We hope that the remainder of your week is everything it needs to be, that this season of celebration is also a season of rest and restoration for you. And we will see you again next week. Bye-bye. Thank you.